Welcome to the world of science fiction where extraordinary tales come to life. Enjoy the journey. The starship Eclipse drifted silently through the void of space, its sleek metallic hull reflecting the faint light of a distant sun. On board, Captain Lyra Voss stood at the helm, her sharp green eyes scanning the endless expanse. She was a seasoned explorer, one of the few humans chosen to lead interstellar missions after Earth joined the Galactic Coalition. Beside her stood her first officer, Jackson Reed, a tall, broad-shouldered man with a knack for solving problems under pressure. "Captain," Jackson said, breaking the silence, "we're approaching the coordinates of the distress signal. Scanners show a small vessel adrift, but no signs of life." Lyra nodded, her expression focused. "Prepare a boarding party. Let's see what we're dealing with." The distress signal had come from an uncharted sector of space, far from any known civilization. As the Eclipse drew closer, the mysterious vessel came into view. It was unlike anything they had ever seen, sleek and organic in design, with glowing veins of blue light running across its surface. Lyra led the boarding party, her pulse rifle at the ready. The airlock hissed open, revealing the dimly lit interior. The walls pulsed faintly, as if the ship itself were alive. As they ventured deeper, they found the source of the distress signal, a small spherical device emitting a faint hum. Suddenly, a figure emerged from the shadows. It was humanoid but distinctly alien, with shimmering silver skin and elongated limbs. Its eyes glowed a soft blue, and it moved with an eerie grace. "Who are you?" Lyra demanded, her finger hovering over the trigger of her rifle. The alien tilted its head, studying her with curiosity. "I am Zenara," it said, its voice melodic yet tinged with urgency. "My people are in danger. We need your help." Before Lyra could respond, the ship shuddered violently. Alarms blared as the Eclipse came under attack. "Captain," Jackson shouted over the comms. "We've got company. 3 unidentified vessels closing in fast." Lyra turned to Zenara. "What's going on? Who's attacking us?" Zenara's expression darkened. "The Krylos. They seek to destroy my kind and claim our technology. Please, you must help us." Lyra hesitated. The Eclipse was a research vessel, not a warship, but the desperation in Zenara's voice struck a chord. "Jackson, prepare for evasive maneuvers," Lyra ordered. "We're not leaving her behind." As the Eclipse engaged the enemy ships, Lyra realized this was no ordinary mission. The fate of an entire species might depend on their actions. With the Krylos temporarily driven off, Lyra and her crew regrouped aboard the Eclipse. Zenara explained that her people, the Zenari, lived in a hidden city deep within a nebula. The Krylos had discovered their location and were determined to seize their advanced technology, which included the ability to manipulate energy on a molecular level. "We call it the Silver City," Zenara said, her voice filled with pride. "It is a place of great beauty and power. But if the Krylos reach it, all will be lost." Lyra exchanged a glance with Jackson. "We'll help you," she said firmly, "but we need to know what we're up against." Zenara nodded. "The Krylos are ruthless. They have no regard for life, only conquest. Their ships are heavily armed, and their soldiers are genetically enhanced for combat." The Eclipse set course for the nebula, its crew preparing for the challenges ahead. As they entered the swirling clouds of gas and dust, the Silver City came into view. It was a breathtaking sight, a sprawling metropolis of shimmering towers and bridges, all glowing with the same blue light as Zenara's ship. But their arrival did not go unnoticed. The Krylos fleet was already there, bombarding the city's defenses. "We need to get inside," Zenara urged. "There is a way to activate the city's defenses, but it requires a code only I possess." Lyra nodded. "Jackson, take a team and secure a landing zone. We're going in." The descent into the city was chaotic. Krylos fighters swarmed around them, and the Eclipse sustained heavy damage. But Lyra's crew fought valiantly, their determination unwavering. As they reached the city's central spire, Zenera led them to a hidden chamber. Inside was a massive console, its surface covered in intricate symbols. "This is it," Zenera said, her hands moving swiftly over the controls. "Once activated, the city's defenses will repel the Krylos, but it will take time." Suddenly, the door burst open, and a squad of Krylos soldiers stormed in. Lyra and her crew opened fire, but the enemy was relentless. "Zenara, hurry!" Lyra shouted, ducking behind a console as energy blasts filled the air. With a final keystroke, Zenera activated the defenses. The city's towers began to glow brighter, and a powerful energy shield enveloped the metropolis. The Krylos ships were forced to retreat, their attack thwarted. But the victory was short-lived. As the dust settled, Zenera turned to Lyra with a grim expression. "This is only the beginning," she said. "The Krylos will return, and they will not stop until we are destroyed." Back aboard the Eclipse, Lyra and her crew assessed the damage. The ship had taken a beating, but it was still spaceworthy. Zenera joined them in the briefing room, her silver skin reflecting the dim light. "We need a plan," Lyra said, addressing the group. "The Krylos won't give up, and we can't defend the Silver City alone." Jackson leaned forward, his brow furrowed in thought. "What about the Galactic Coalition? If we can convince them to send reinforcements, we might stand a chance." Zenera shook her head. "The Coalition has strict protocols about interfering in conflicts between non-member species. They will not help us." Lyra frowned. "Then we'll have to find another way." "Zenara, are there other civilizations that might join us?" Zenera hesitated. "There is one, the Valens. They are a warrior race, fiercely independent but honorable. If we can prove our cause is just, they may aid us." The Valens were known throughout the galaxy for their combat prowess and advanced technology, but they were also notoriously difficult to negotiate with. "It's a long shot," Jackson said, "but it's our best option." The Eclipse set course for Valen space, its crew preparing for what lay ahead. As they approached the Valen homeworld, they were met by a fleet of heavily armed ships. "Identify yourselves," a gruff voice demanded over the comms. "This is Captain Lyra Voss of the Earth vessel Eclipse," Lyra replied. "We seek an audience with your leaders. The fate of the galaxy may depend on it." There was a long pause before the voice responded. "You will be escorted to the capital. Any hostile action will be met with deadly force." The Eclipse was led to a massive city on the planet's surface. The Valens were an imposing people, their muscular frames and sharp features radiating strength. Lyra, Jackson, and Zenera were brought before the Valen High Council, a group of stern-faced leaders who regarded them with suspicion. "Why should we involve ourselves in your conflict?" one of the council members asked, his voice dripping with skepticism. Lyra stepped forward, her gaze steady. "Because the Krylos won't stop with the Zenari. Once they have their technology, they will come for you next. Together, we can stop them before it's too late." The council members exchanged glances, murmuring among themselves. Finally, the leader stood. "Very well," he said, "we will join your fight. But know this, if you betray us, the consequences will be severe." With the Valens on their side, Lyra felt a glimmer of hope. But the battle ahead would be their greatest challenge yet. The combined fleet of human, Zenari, and Valen ships gathered at the edge of the nebula, their weapons primed and crews ready for battle. The Krylos had returned in force, their massive warships bristling with weapons. Lyra stood on the bridge of the Eclipse, her heart pounding with anticipation. This was it, the moment that would determine the fate of countless lives. "All ships, prepare for engagement," she ordered, her voice steady. "Remember, we fight not just for ourselves, but for the future of the galaxy." The battle began with a deafening roar as the two fleets clashed. Energy beams lit up the void, and explosions rocked the ships. The Eclipse darted through the chaos, its crew working tirelessly to keep the ship in one piece. Zenara was in the engineering bay, using her knowledge of Zenari technology to boost the ship's systems. Jackson manned the weapons, his precise aim taking out enemy fighters with deadly accuracy. As the battle raged on, Lyra noticed something strange. The Krylos ships were converging on a single point, a massive, heavily fortified vessel at the heart of their fleet. That must be their command ship, she realized. If we can take it out, we might turn the tide. But reaching the command ship would be no easy task. It was surrounded by a swarm of fighters and protected by powerful shields. "Zenara," Lyra said over the comms, "is there any way to disable their shields?" Zenara's voice crackled through the speakers. "There is a frequency that can disrupt their systems, but we would need to get close, dangerously close." Lyra didn't hesitate. "Jackson, plot a course for the command ship. We're going in." The Eclipse surged forward, weaving through the enemy fire. The shields flickered as they took hit after hit, but the crew pressed on. As they neared the command ship, Zenara activated the frequency disruptor. The Krylos shields faltered, and Lyra seized the opportunity. "Fire everything we've got," she shouted. The Eclipse unleashed a barrage of torpedoes and energy blasts, striking the command ship's vulnerable hull. The massive vessel shuddered, then erupted in a blinding explosion. With their command ship destroyed, the Krylos fleet fell into disarray. The Allied forces pressed their advantage, driving the enemy back. As the last of the Krylos ships retreated, a cheer went up across the fleet. They had won. But Lyra knew the fight was far from over. The Krylos would regroup, and the galaxy would need to remain vigilant. In the aftermath of the battle, the Allied forces gathered at the Silver City to celebrate their victory. The Zenari welcomed their new allies with open arms, their gratitude evident in every gesture. Lyra stood on a balcony overlooking the city, the glowing towers casting a soft light on her face. Zenara joined her, her silver skin shimmering in the twilight. "Thank you," Zenara said softly. "Without you, none of this would have been possible." Lyra smiled. "We did it together. This victory belongs to all of us." As the celebrations continued, Lyra couldn't help but think about the future. The alliance between humans, Zenari, and Valens was a fragile one, but it held the promise of a brighter tomorrow. The galaxy was vast and full of challenges, but with courage and determination, they could overcome anything. And as the stars twinkled above, Lyra knew that their journey was just beginning.